Okay, folks, welcome to this week's Fife Property Market Update. This is from the 16th of April to yesterday, the 22nd of April. This is a look right across the Fife Property Market itself. The number of properties actually listed, the number of properties sold in the same week. And this gives a real good equilibrium about how stable or unstable the Fife Property Market could be. Also, I'm going to analyse and break down some numbers as well, because it's quite important to see what price bracket houses are actually selling in. There's a perception that houses are flying off the shelf, but this will give you a good indication about the houses that are actually selling, the number of houses are selling, and what categories they're in. In other words, up to 100,000, up to 200,000, up to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, and onwards. That's the sort of price points we're looking at, and the number of properties actually sold right throughout. So let me just share my screen. Unfortunately, for the people on Instagram that are watching live right now, I cannot share my screen on Instagram. But tune in to our Fife Properties TV channel on our YouTube channel, and you will see this update live right now as we speak. Let me just share the screen and show you some numbers. Okay, this was last week. Now, the startling revelation is, look, supply, demand is now outstripping supply for this week. And let's break that down, and I'll tell you all about what that means. We'll say, okay, so the Cooper area, 8 properties actually instructed, 13 properties sold. East Neuk, 7 instructed, 9 sold. St Andrews, 7 versus 6. Leedmouth, 11 versus 15. Dunfermline, 64 came on, 61 sold. Glenorthus, 9 came on, 14 sold. So a clear indication for last week that demand was outstripping supply. Kirkcaldy 30 versus 34, or it's stable. So there's 140 properties actually listed last week, according to Rightmove, up for sale in the week last week from the 16th to the 22nd. Now, the key out of that is that means 20 people make a decision every day to buy and sell a property, because 148 actually were bought in the same week. That means just over 20 decided to buy a property that week, so they were sold. This is a real stable market, if not a wee bit more demand. But let me just explain where the demand is, because this is quite important to break down that number. Out of the 148 that were actually sold, here it is, because there's a lot of people there that have properties sitting on maybe in the up to the 100 to 200,000 price bracket, the 200 to 300, the 300 to 400, and the 400 to 500, and then the 500 up. So let me break down the 148 into the categories. Out of the 148, 40 were actually sold which were under £100,000, which represents 27% of that 148. Out of the 148 between 100,000 and 200,000, 38 were sold, which again represents about 27%. So we can say quite accurately that 50% of that amount sold was actually under 200,000. From the 200,000 to 300,000, 24 were actually sold, which represents 16% of that. From the 300,000 to 400,000, only 12 were sold. See how it's dropping quite dramatically as we go up in the price bandings. So 12 represented roughly 8% of that amount and is sold in the week. Of the 400,000 to 500,000, only 9 were sold, which represents round about 6% actually of that number. And then up above that, only 5 were sold. So basically 5 itself. So anything from 300,000 upwards, and I'll just do a quick calculation, represented 17% of that number. The rest were £300,000 and downwards, which indicates to me that the availability, the demand for properties at the £300,000 and upward are a lot less than £300,000 and down. And dare I say, £200,000 and down is probably the most popular, which takes up 50% of these numbers sold last week. So why do I explain that? Because it means that mortgages and interest rates are probably at a level where it can only afford people in that category the monthly payments, the monthly repayments in order to buy a house 50% of them up to the 200,000 point. And again, when we take into account round about 62% up to the 300,000 pound point. The rest are a lot more than that, a lot less than that actually. So that gives me a strong indication that if you have a house which is below 200,000 or below 300,000, it's probably 200,000 more accurate. It's more likely to sell a lot quicker or better than a house it's possibly about 250,000 and upwards. That should be a wee bit longer to sell. When you get into the bracket of round about the 500,000 pound and upward, that might take a wee bit longer to sell because your market is narrowing as you go up when the number available. So there's a lot of people at the bottom of there that can afford the £100,000. You come up and then they've got £200,000, and that triangle comes up. So when you go up to the top of about £500,000, the triangle's got a lot smaller. The availability audience, so the audience is a lot smaller as well for that price point of the £300,000 or £250,000 and upwards, and it peters off as it goes up, as I've just explained there. So hopefully that gives everybody a strong indication about where we are going right now and how long it generally would take to sell a house which is in certain price brackets. Now, I did this a wee month, 2 or 3 months ago, and I did say there's what I did say out of this, and I'll just explain what I was saying. 0 to 300,000, there tends to be a lot more demand than supply. Now, I dare say that's probably down to the £200,000 bracket now, or the £250,000. So 250 to probably round about, I would say, 350 is probably where there's enough supply and there's enough demand to match each other. And then 300 and upwards, or 350 and upwards, is probably where there's more supply than there is actually demand, which means you'll wait a lot longer as you go up these price brackets to sell your house. It should take a bit longer. So don't be surprised if your house takes a wee bit longer to sell. You're just waiting for the right person to come along, because 20 people in Fife, for example, make a decision every day to buy and sell a house, as according to these numbers of 140 actually listed in the week, which is 7 days. Divided by that, 20 people have actually put the property on every single day in Fife. And outside of Fife, people make decisions as well to relocate to Fife because obviously it's a better, higher quality of living for a less affordability, a lesser price point, and it gives people in the city a lot more lifestyle choice. Okay, let's talk about what's been sold. Let's talk about what's getting listed as well. This is actually quite important. People want to know about this. Quickly, there's a couple of articles. I'll just briefly before I say that. We actually talked about, Perry and I actually talked about this yesterday, you and your estate agent, 5 ways to work together as a top-notch team with your estate agent. It's on this post in a video format, podcast format, and also an article as well. You can read that anytime you like. If you want to know about UK house prices and where we are right now, as opposed, according to the Land Registry Index, which is the government's Office of National Statistics information, which is the most accurate ones because that's all the transactions in the whole of the UK brought together. Again, Perry, myself and Jimmy did a midweek show about that, about the average price point in Scotland, average price point in the UK, average price point in Fife as well, number of transactions. We also talked about inflation, and how that affect the property market. We also talked about unemployment levels, how that will affect the property market. And what the strong indicator, I suggest, is probably more than likely base rates will go up in the beginning of May. Again, probably another quarter point to curb inflation. However, it's probably already been factored into the mortgage market already by the money market because they're expecting this as well, with inflation not going according to plan and coming down as dramatically as they expected. However, the International Money Federation has actually indicated that they expect inflation to actually drop, and Britain is actually faring quite well in comparison to what they had expected before. So hopefully that gives you a good insight. However, as I said, the UK House Price Index in Scotland and Fife, and for February 2023 up to February 2023, there is a show, there's a podcast, and there's a link in this post to that as well. Let's talk about what's been sold. Good thing about talking about what's been sold in the week by us, it gives you a strong indication about what prices are going in for in certain areas. And if you've got a similar house, then it gives you a real good indication about what your house could be worth. But in order to firm that up, you're probably better to get in touch with us and talk about this to us personally, just to make sure and rubber stamp that for you. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. This was actually Fairfield and Collinsborough. This is what I talk about all the time. This was sold from social media. This actually never made it to a website where they got the offer in. This was basically put on as a pre-portal on our social media channels. I keep telling you, if you don't want to miss out on your dream home, you've just seen the numbers that are actually getting sold in the up to the 250,000 mark pretty quick. If you're wanting your dream home, you have to be fast or you're going to be last. You can no longer rely on waiting on Rightmove, Prime Location and Zoopla notifying you of properties coming into the market, because by that time, you're probably getting the scraps from the main table, which is on social media, on the social media platforms, which it goes there first for everybody. So follow your Facebook pages for the regions, for us especially, for the property you want. And when it goes on there, contact us pretty quick. You need to, because you've got 5 to 6 working days before it hits a website, and then somebody else could get that before you. And equally, if you're waiting on the website and you really want this house, you probably better follow the channel to get it first. So this is Fairfield Road in Collinsborough, sold from social media, as I said, a 3-bedroom, 7-detached house, and it was listed at offers over 185,000. So that's the sort of price point they're going for in the Collinsborough area in Fairfield Road, 185,000 and over. The next one here is Shore Street in Cellar Dyke. That took a bit longer than usual to actually sell. It was a 3-bedroom upper apartment. It was listed at offers over 230,000, and it is actually now away. Now, we've got another one coming up round about that area, so watch out for that one. I will be doing a pre-portal quite soon for it, and it's just within eye shot of the harbour itself, the Cellar Dyke Harbour. So watch out for that one. If you're interested in it, by the way, contact me now and just say I will be interested in that area if it's near the Cellar Dyke Harbour and it's within the eye shot of it. And that was, as I said, that was listed over 230,000, and it is now away, a 3-bedroom upper apartment. Tansy Park in Glenrothes, again, that was sold, and it was sold. It took a wee bit longer than usual. Again, we're talking about things that take a bit longer. Some will go quick, some will take a bit longer, and there's an average in between, which is around about 6 to 8 weeks to sell a house on average. So this was a 3-bedroom end-terraced house, and it was listed at over 120,000, and it is away. So if you've got a property like this in the Glenrothes, contact us now. We want to hear from you if you're interested in selling it round about that price point, offers over 120,000. The next one here is Ivy Grove in Methil. It's sold in 3 weeks, 2-bedroom end terrace house, and it was listed at offers over 100,000. So Ivy Grove in Methil, 2-bedroom end terrace houses are now going for offers over 100,000. If that appeals to you and you're looking to move and you want to sell, then contact us today. No surprise here. Park Drive in Leiden, sold in 1 week, 2-bedroom terrace house, listed at offers over 115,000. This is one several people missed out on. If you're not fast, you're last. Several people missed out on this. Park Drive in Leiden. This was sold in 1 week, 2-bedroom terrace house, offers over 115,000. If you've got a 2-bedroom terrace house, 3-bedroom terrace house, anything in the Park Drive area, anything in the Linwood Drive and Broome area, please contact us now, because we've got demand for these types of properties. People are actually missing out. They'd love to get in there, and this actually went to a first-time buyer. Next one, Green Gates, sold in 10 days. Again, there's a pattern for these properties at these price points. They're actually selling quite well. So the ones at higher levels are selling a bit longer to take to sell. The ones at the lower level price brackets are selling pretty quick. Green Gates and Leiden sold in 10 days, 3-bedroom maisonette, listed at offers over 80,000. 2 other people missed out. Again, demand for these types of properties in the area. Offers over 80,000 for a 3-bedroom maisonette upper. So if you've got a property like that and you're looking to sell and upgrade, or you're maybe looking to sell and move out the area, if you've got a buy-to-let and you're looking to sell it and you've decided to get out the market because of the changing legislation, then by all means contact us today. They are selling for offers over 80,000. Alexander Street in Kirkcaldy, sold in 3 weeks, 2-bedroom ground floor flat. It was listed at offers over 88,000. Again, sold in 3 weeks. You need to be quick if you're wanting these types of properties, especially downstairs ones. Very, very popular for people that want to downsize because they don't want to tackle the stairs anymore. And that was sold in 3 weeks, offers over 8 to 8,000. If that's the type of property you've got, you're looking to sell, that's the price point they're going for right now, possibly more. Popular Road in Methil, next one, it was sold in a couple of months actually, took a wee bit longer to sell than usual. 2-bedroom semi-detached house, listed offers over 100,000, but it is away. 2-bedroom semi-detached house in Popular Road in Methil, listed over 100,000, and it is now away. This went to somebody who wanted to upsize. So this is actually somebody coming from an apartment looking to upsize into a bigger property, semi-detached, and they're popular. They're definitely popular. Offers over 100,000, remember. I have seen the day where they were a lot less than that, and look at the price of them now. This is a great opportunity to capitalise on that and allow this to be your springboard, if you've got a property like this, to your next house and upgrade to something a bit bigger. It maybe accommodates your growing family unit, or maybe accommodates you actually downsizing too as well, for people that want to downsize as well. Let's talk about what's coming soon. So that's what's been sold in the week. In other words, sold, subject to concluded missives, waiting to go through. If you're actually interested in these and you think to yourself, oh, I wish I could have got that one or missed out on it, contact us anyway. You know, you never know what could happen. Circumstances could change for a buyer. You never know. So you're in line if that's the case, because that's the first people will go back to if anything happens. So generally, you don't see anything coming back onto market. More than likely, what happens is we go to the next person in line and they go, are you in at that price point? Are you ready to go? Absolutely, job done. And it never sees the light of day. So that's why the fall throughs are very, very rare with us in terms of what we do, and because we line other people up in that process. What's coming soon, guys? Let me talk about what's coming soon. So 4th Street in St. Monans. Listen out for this. So, because they're all going to get pre-portals, but this is your opportunity to actually register now your interest in these properties when they come to market. 4th Street in St. Monans. I'm doing a pre-portal on Tuesday for this one, actually. So this is a 3-bedroom semi-detached house. It's a cracking house, actually. And, you know, I don't need to tell everybody else. Most people that know the St. Monans East Nuke area know this is actually easy walking distance to the Fife Coastal Path, the harbour, beach, and all the amenities available on offer. It's a fantastic location. It's got pretty good views, and it's got a beautiful garden over the road, elevated, and it's got a nice wee back courtyard as well, which is ideal. So that's 4th Street in St. Monans. The next one is the Cribs in St. Monans, extremely popular. The Cribs, Cribs is very, very rare, the Cribs, to get there. So this is a 4-bedroom terraced house that's going to be coming up in St. Monans, in the Cribs. If you're interested in this type of property, 4-bedroom terraced house in the Cribs of St. Monans, again, this is literally just 100 metres away from the harbour. This is a great location. We sold one there last year, and it went from social media. And I'm more than likely, when the pre-portal gets done, it'll be away as well. So if you're interested in this type of property, contact us now, register with us now, so you don't miss out, because you will get a heads up before it actually hits any websites or social media channels. West End Cottage Killessie, 2-bedroom semi-detached cottage, will be coming up as well. This will be another one coming on. Got a lot to go through. There's a lot coming to the market. There is a lot of supply coming onto the market, but you can see by these numbers that there's even more actually selling now. So there's very, very popular at the price points. If you get your price point right and it's there, then the people are going to agree to, and the buyers are going to agree to what you need. Because often a lot of people actually don't put their house in the market because they're fearful that they'll be left with nowhere to go, because you've not got to that stage yet. However, you can actually manage the sale, and you can insist to the person, unless you agree to the entry date or the flexible entry date I want, I'll just wait for the next person to come along. Sellers are still in that unique situation where other people will come along. You just heard me there when I went over something. Other people missed out on Park Drive. Other people missed out on the other properties I mentioned there. The other one was Green Gates as well. Other people missed out on that. So there is a lot of other people out there waiting for these types of properties. So you could then say to people, I want a longer flexible entry date because I've not got anywhere to go yet. And if they go, well, I'm really wanting it straight away, you just go, well, that's fine. I'll just wait for the next person to come along. That's fine. That's more important sometimes than the actual price, because everybody else will pay the price probably, but not everybody can agree to that flexible entry date. So that's how we manage a sale and make sure you're not in a position where you don't have somewhere else to go. George Street, Cellar Dyke. is coming on. So watch out for that one. 2-bedroom terraced house. Croft Crescent, Markinch, 2-bedroom upper flat. Clarewood Place in Cooper, 3-bedroom terraced house. Laird Avenue in Methil, 2-bedroom semi-detached house. Ashgrove in Methil, 3-bedroom terraced house. Douglas Terrace and Windigates, a 1-bedroom upper apartment. Crawford Park in Springfield, a 3-bedroom detached house. And Station Road, Springfield, a 3-bedroom detached cottage. Watch out for all these ones coming up in pre-portals. However, if I've mentioned them right now and you think I might be interested in that because I like that area, then as I said before, message us direct about the particular property you want and give us your contact details, and we will give you a heads up before it hits any websites or social media channels. So you will be an opportunity and an advantageous position to get in there first before everyone else. Let's talk about what's completed, which is quite important as well. Now, completed is keys handed over, ready to move in, money exchanged, contracts done. That's what completed is. Now we can tell you what prices they went for, and it gives you a good indication about what the expectation is at the certain price points, about what you would expect to pay over and above the home report value if that is the case. So this is a real good indicator. The reason for this is because most property prices and valuations now have caught up with all the huge increases that have come through. So the new home reports that are getting done are at the accurate levels of what the increases were before added into them. So there's no longer the expectation about everything's going to go 10 and 20 and 15% over the home report value anymore. Everything's kind of caught up into the home report value and been built into it already, which allows you to get your lender, you get that better lending because you can finance it a lot easier than you can actually bring the money out of your own pocket to put towards the purchase price over and above the home report value. Hence the reason why the offers over the home report value, the percentages actually began to drop quite significantly, actually. So Wellesley Road in Methil was a 2-bedroom in terraced house and actually sold in a wee bit longer than usual. And it actually sold just under the home report value at 95,000. So that was a 3-bedroom in terraced house on Wellesley Road in Methil. 95,000 is still a really good price point, actually, for that type of property. Went to a first-time buyer. Perfect, because they were able to get that because basically the home report was at the right value. So therefore the lender was going, perfect, I can give you the lending as much as you want, up to the percentage that we want you to put down. And that's what makes it so easy, because the home report's at the right level now. And first-time buyers don't need to have a huge amount of money to put out of their own pocket to get over and above that value. Acorn Court in Cellardyke, that's actually a 4-bedroom detached house, and that had sold in a little bit longer than usual. Here the pattern of behaviour there, a little bit longer than usual, and it sold for just a couple of percentage over the home report value at £347,500. Miller Terrace, St Monans, 3-bedroom terraced house, sold within a month, sold for 4% over the home report value, sold for £312,500. It was on the other side of the road, no the front line. Frontline ones tend to get significantly more because they've got these beautiful uninterrupted views right across, basically 180 views of the whole sea, and you can see away along to the Pitt and Weymouth itself, and then you can see away back over to Ely. And you can actually see out the window of this property, because I remember zooming in on it. You can actually see Ladies Tower on Ely itself, on Ely Point, and you can see Ladies Tower if you zoom in on the camera. So that was away for £312,500. Veronica Crescent in Kirkcaldy, that was a 3-bedroom detached house. It actually sold from social media, and it sold for 6% over the home report value at £127,000. And again, first-time buyer. Crawley Crescent, Springfield, 3-bedroom semi-detached house, sold in one day. And incidentally, the sale fell through. And guess what? We sold it in one day again after it going back in. So it was sold just over the home report value at £137,000. And the new owners were excited with their new family home. And that's us, guys. That's what's been all sold, and that's what's coming to market. So watch out for these ones. I'm quickly going to finish off with our wealth creation show. Richard and I are going to talk about the wealth creation show tomorrow, and it's at 12:30. It's on. It'll be shared to these channels. Primarily, it's the links in here in this post to our YouTube channel to stream it when we stream it live. Also Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It goes on as well. It goes on my public profile. It goes on my personal profile as well. And then it's shared to the Fife Properties pages. So you can actually engage. Now you can ask questions at the same time. This is the Wealth Creation Show tomorrow is all about protecting your wealth. So why do we do this? Well, this is a, you know, I tell you what, there's some people out there, and I've noticed recently, and I have been asked for advice to advise them on what they should be doing. They've inherited maybe 50 to 100,000, 150,000. They've come to me and they've said, look, you know, what should I do? Where should I invest it to get the best return? And what I've noticed a lot of times though is when I've given advice, then basically some of them have not actually taken that advice, and then that money starts to erode and that money starts to disappear, because you get into habits of buying maybe new cars, you know, buying things that you would normally not buy because you've got that money now. It's easy sometimes to acquire money. It's more difficult to keep it. And this is what we're going to talk about in the Wealth Creation Show, about protecting your wealth. So whatever you've got just now, whether it's a pension, whether it's a buy-to-let investment, whether it's money in the bank, whether it's ISAs, anything like that, we're going to talk about a 10-step plan to help you keep your costs lean and mean as inflation possibly eats away in the returns. So we're going to talk about protecting your wealth tomorrow with that 10-step plan. And as usual, I'll give you an insight into what I've done over the last 30 years in terms of how I've protected my wealth, because I've gone through turbulent times myself, so I understand exactly what you should be doing and how you should be doing it, and hopefully you'll get some good top tips out of that. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you need us, just message us direct on these posts. More than happy to help. And until next time, guys, and tomorrow's Wealth Creation Show at 12:30, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV. Bye-bye for now.